Debbie Reynolds. Everybody was shocked and excited and surprised to see that you and Teresa and everybody else came together to save Debbie Reynolds Studio. Tell us, what was the impetus? Why did you have to work that out and have that happen?
Well, it was a shock to us when Teresa called me and told me, hey, Debbie Reynolds for sale. My immediate reaction was like, yeah, no, we're buying it. Because me and my husband had talked about buying Debbie Reynolds a long time ago. The difference between Debbie Reynolds, Millennium, and Amel and all that is it was the only dance studio that was owning their walls. So they were owners of the property where the dance studio is. But Todd Fisher had to sell it, and when we found that out, to me, it meant first and foremost, the Thriller room was gonna be gone. Like, the fact that I can go in the studio, dance in the same dance floor Michael Jackson rehearsed Thriller, watch myself in the same mirror Michael watched himself for Thriller. It is so much history, and there's so much soul in this studio. And on top of that, it's a safe place. It's not a very industry-driven. It is a get better, passion, dance-driven studio, and we couldn't lose that. I taught here. I took classes here. I was inspired here. I rehearsed with the Beat Freaks here. We got locked up at night here. I mean, there's so much history, and not just for us, for every dancer in the world and every artist that's rehearsed here, even like actors, Pirates of the Caribbean. I mean, like there's so many, everybody's been here, and we could not, for the sake of the industry and of really old Hollywood and Hollywood, we couldn't let it go to waste. So we convinced Todd Fisher we convinced him to sell it to us. We had to come up with money fast. We couldn't do that. So he sold it to a real estate developer who's super nice and accepted for us to rent the facility from him so we can keep the studio going. And Todd Fisher allowed us to keep the name and the studio and keep it going. So yeah, so now Debbie Reynolds' legacy is ours.
Wow, that's crazy. Now, one thing you're talking about is a lease right now.
Right.
Is there a plan that you can lease to buy? And because it's kind of scary to say, like, okay, the developer is really nice, but down the road, you never know.
Yeah, so of course, the building is not ours, so the owner can do what he wants with it. Our goal is to turn the business around, because it was run like a charity, and now we need to make money because we actually have a rent, and that's why we did the GoFundMe campaign, because everybody's like, oh my God, this is beautiful what you guys did, but not just us did it. Everyone who donated, they paid for the floor, they paid for the paint, they paid for the mirror, they helped us do all this, they helped us pay for we still have a lot to pay, so please keep donating, but it's really, 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 like, we're trying to do our best to turn the studio around, make it the place to be, so we can come up at the end of the year and go see the owner and be like, hey, how much rent would you be happy with for us to pay you, so you just leave the building alone? And that's really our goal, to stay here in the long run. And also the area, maybe he might not think that it's yet a good idea to put a lot of money in this area yet and build something new and trendy when the area is not there yet. So I think we may be here for a while. Right. I hope we are.
Well, hopefully maybe it becomes permanent, and all that good stuff. But right now, it's a special week, and it's something special is the unveiling of the Aaliyah mural.
This studio actually used to be used for an office. It didn't have flooring, it didn't have mirrors. It was literally just an office. And we thought it was too beautiful and too nice of a space that we needed more studios, affordable studio to rent for students and dancers and artists who wants to develop themselves, that we're like, let's just do one. And then Mariella and Brian and Scott came along, and we always wanted to call it the Aaliyah Room because it was Studio A, and then who to honor that starts with the A is Aaliyah. We almost call it Andre Fuentes also, our beloved Andre. But yeah, we've been wanting to call it Aaliyah for a while, so.
Right, and it's Aaliyah's birthday. What does Aaliyah mean to you? I'm sure you were a young lady back in the days when, rocked the boat, and unfortunately when we heard that Aaliyah passed. What did Aaliyah resonate with you?
Well, Aaliyah was only 1 year older than me. And then so I was back in France when she started, because she actually died the year I came to LA. the same year. So I never got to audition or anything. I never got to do anything with her. And she just represents to me the artist that I was listening, growing up, starting dancing. I loved her integrity. I love her tomboyish sometimes, yet sexy. To me, she was the perfect artist. She could sing, she could dance beautifully. She was beautiful inside and out. And I thought she was a great role model. And that's why we're honoring her as well.
Okay. Do you remember where you were at the day that she passed?
Yes, I was actually in LA. I was in LA and I was in rehearsal and they told me, well, that was the whole thing of the crash and and we were like, I couldn't really understand what was going on, but it was sad. It was sad. She was such a good artist.
And then do you have any favorite songs or any lyrics that stick in your mind? I mean, on the other side, we had Eddie Christopher that did the special a quote lyric or whatnot. And do you have anything that you can remember or that might stick out in your mind?
To me, it was definitely the Try Again video. And all the dancers also that were in the videos, they inspired me, and then I got to meet them. So, and then Rock the Boat as well, that is because we do it with Missy when I was on tour with Missy Elliott, and you know how much Missy loved Aaliyah and loves her still. So I got to have a lot of Aaliyah in my life even after she passed, just being on tour with Missy. Because she was rocking her, she still rocks her in her gear, and then we do things on tour on her songs. So, but yeah, no, like I think Try Again was probably my favorite.
Well, you guys definitely are trying again to keep Debbie Reynolds alive. Any last words you want to say about Aaliyah and about people to support Debbie Reynolds? Yeah,
so we decided to call the studio Debbie Reynolds Legacy. Reason being is because this is Debbie's legacy, but we love that it is a legacy. Aaliyah's legacy, Michael Jackson's legacy, all these artists' souls are here and are passing on their knowledge, and I feel inspiring and vibrating through all the people coming through the walls. And that's what we want to do here at Debbie Reynolds Legacy. We want people to feel that it is a place for artists to grow, for artists to feel safe and to develop and just rise up.